Hey, great day, everybody. This is Dr. TK, and today we will be talking about time management, how to master it as an entrepreneur, and also how to leverage our time. And so, you definitely want to have your pen and paper. I'm going to be going over a time audit tool that we actually provide to our clients in our program. I'm going to be sharing the screen, and then when we are done, I'm going to show you actually how to get access to the time audit tool that we provide to our clients, and also a bonus that you can download. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Um, First, the reason why I'm going over this topic is because there has been a lot of chatter in our therapists and healers community as it relates to maximizing their capacity, but really feeling burnt out. So, first, let's define burnout in 2024, right? So, when we think about burnout, we typically think about feeling, less energy. We may not want to do the things that typically light us up. We may just feel flustered, overwhelmed, and when we have things on our like to-do list for our business, we maybe don't even know where to start, primarily because our energy levels are down. Now, I am a curator of information and I tap into my own personal development. And Gary Vee had, if you're not familiar with him, he talks a lot about having an online presence. And one of the things that he talked about is in the creator space, meaning if you're online right now, you're a creator, even if it's for your business. In the creator space, a lot of creators are saying that they're burnt out, but really we want to distinguish between for real burnout and then what's called micro, I'm gonna call it cycles of burnout. So, a micro cycle of burnout can be, let's just say you're preparing to go on a vacation or take a week off your business, and you have clients or customers that you would have typically seen during that time. What a lot of entrepreneurs do is instead of just literally taking the time off, stacking up money to then take care of whatever expenses come about during that week, instead, what they'll do is they'll double their client or caseload or customer load or coaching load the week before they leave. And then when they go on vacation or they take time off, they're drained, they're tired. That is an example of micro burnout because it's not like something that's been happening and building up over a long period of time, but it is something that just hit you all of a sudden, primarily because you had control of your time management skills, of your time, but you made a choice, a conscious decision to double down on one particular week. Now, I'm not saying that there's a right or a wrong way of how you structure your time, but what I am highlighting is that entrepreneurs, I want you to take full responsibility for how your schedule looks. Now, I can already hear someone saying, well, I got to make the money. I have to pay my rent. I have to pay my mortgage. I have to pay this. I have to pay that. And all of that is true. But then let's go beneath that surface. You made a choice of what clients you are going to see. You made a choice of what job you chose to pay you. So when I used to work at a juvenile facility, I did not like the way that my energy was running at the time of me driving to and from a juvenile camp, 2 hours with traffic away from my home, working a 10-hour shift. I did not like how my body started to feel less energetic when I would have to show up for these kids. And then the kids started reading it on my face saying, hey, Dr. Jackson, you look tired. So I had a decision to make. I can either stay looking tired or I can still choose to work with these type of children in a juvenile facility, but maybe I need to make a conscious decision to shift my work location. So what I'm also highlighting is that there's always a choice. Another example is in private practice or you work with clients one-on-one. Strategically, you can choose where you place your referrals. If you get 5 client calls today and from the presenting problem, they have heavy trauma, they have some depressive symptoms, some are moderate or severe over others, and you look at your schedule and you have 4 spots on Monday clustered together, 4 spots on Thursday clustered together. And what I mean by cluster is 9, 10, 11, 12, like back to back with a 15-minute, maybe in between break, clearly. And so if you recognize after the first two that you scheduled on Monday at 9 and 10, that they have similar overlapping symptoms. Or if you look at your energy, you may recognize I actually need a serious break, like a lunch break after these two. Then why would you intentionally schedule the other two consultations after you talk to them right after the first two? You are reading into your intuition, your gut, your emotion right then and there and saying, like, wow, this looks like it's going to be a heavy day. I'll probably need an hour break after those two, because keep in mind, you only got a glimpse of what's happening with them in the 15-minute consultation. And that's even if you are a provider that actually believes in consultations, because I've had people in our boot camps, for example, that say, I don't need a consultation. They're going to pay for my time, which is fine. But just note that you don't know what's going to come through the door. And I clinically and personally don't like to open up somebody's full Pandora's box with all those questions that we ask them during an intake versus a consultation. And then after that 45 minutes or an hour, you decide they're not the right fit for you. Like, what? So that's something you want to consider if you're not the person who does, you know, any type of free 15-minute consultation, because I'd rather spend 15 minutes weeding people out. And of course, in our private practice program, DTA, that we're going to be talking about at the end of the boot camp next week, we actually teach them how to weed people out even before they get on the consultation. So you're still not wasting your time, right? So put a one in the comment box if you're watching live, if this is making sense. Micro burnout, making sure that you structure your consultations appropriately so that you could batch schedule people according to your energy levels. Because some people are fine seeing 4 people back to back. But I want you to consider, what type of symptomology are they walking into on that consultation and potentially on in the session. And then also, what is your setup, right? Is your setup like mine, where you have kids flowing in and out of this house at different times of the day? Maybe you have the whole morning like myself with no children when they're in school, you know what I'm saying? But then you have different environmental factors that you can't control. A lot of things play a role when you do remote work. And sometimes we even forget our home setup, our energetic levels, and when we should be taking a break. All right. So, with that said, let's shift over to time management, because I kind of already given you some tips. Okay. So, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you how I would do a time audit. I'm going to define what a time audit is. We're going to talk about briefly what a time audit can do for your business. And then I'm going to share with you how you can get hands on my actual time audit tool. And then also a bonus I'm going to give you by tomorrow. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and share the screen. Okay. Everybody can see this. Let me make it a little bigger. Okay. So a time audit is a tool that you could use if you are at your capacity, you're tired, you're not understanding where your time is going. And I'm including personal and business time. Now you can, when you get this, you can clone it, and then you can make one for home and one for business. But I would encourage you to do a time audit at least for 7 days straight. If you want to choose to start on Monday, that's perfectly fine. It's almost the end of the week right now. But I would do it for 7 days, not just your work days, so that you can really get an understanding of where your time is going, because this can also tell you what you should delegate off your plate, what you should cherish and keep, which is aligned with like your gifts and where you want to utilize your time. And then also what you just need to outright trash. Okay. So there are equations in here that are automatically set up. Okay. So this is the time audit. What you're going to do first is you're going to put, like, let's just say today's date, if you want to start today. You're going to put in this activity box, what did you do today? You're then going to put your start time. You're going to put your end time. Now be as accurate as possible. One tip, do not try to do this at the end of the week and think you're really going to capture every single thing that you've done. And I'm going to give you an example by making up what a typical day could look like in the life of let's just say if I'm working as a psychologist today and a coach, right, from home, and I have 2 children, I'm actually going to run down my day, and then I'm going to insert some stuff so you can see what we tend to overlook. Okay. So you want to put the start and you want to put the time. The reason why these are green is that those are the only columns that you want to fill out. Everything else is going to be auto calculated for you. Okay. So let's just go through my day. So I'm going to put August 15th, 2024. And if I start off at the top of my morning, it's going to be get son dressed for school, our youngest son. Okay. So that was at 7 o'clock a.m. And I'm going to include walking him to school. I'm not going to get that specific, but we were done at around 8:15 a.m. Okay. So what you're going to see is that it's going to calculate your total time. Then I actually want to go over here. Let me actually mark this green. My apologies. So you want to identify, let me just make some updates. You want to identify if this is a thing that either click on the, don't type over these, just click the arrow. Is this a task that you love to do? A task that you like to do? A task that you don't like it, but you're really good at it? For example, I may say QuickBooks. I did something around accounting and I'm good at keeping track of my money, but I don't like it. So that may be something. Or I don't like it and I'm not good at it. If I'm trying to do TurboTax at the end of the year, I don't like it and I'm not good at it because I have too many streams of income. So I'm going to say for my son, I love helping him get prepared in the morning. So I'm going to put love. Now I'm going to do the 80-20 rule in terms of where should I be maximizing my time? So what I may put, like these is automate. So automate is, this is something you need to put on repeat. So I'll show you how you can use that. I'm going to do like 4 so you can see. Maybe this is something I needed to delegate. Now, if this were a week that I was doing a launch and I need to be fully in my head, I need to go to the gym every morning on my launch because I already know how I operate when I need to go like 2 weeks straight doing lives. I may say delegate, meaning I'm going to tell my husband, hey, I'll pick our son up from school, but I really need those mornings. Y'all get that? So I may choose delegate. I may choose eliminate. Like, why am I even doing this? You know what I'm saying? And then trim may be like, why did I scroll on TikTok for an hour? I was supposed to be on there trying to find inspiration for social media. So I need to trim that time. So I'm going to say, let's just say if it was launch week, I maybe need to trim. So trim could look like tomorrow when I do it, I'm going to ask my husband, can he get our son dressed for school? I'm going to go to the gym at this time, but I want to make sure that I walk him to school. So I may, the next time I do it, this is what I would want it to look like. At 7:45, instead of it being an hour and 15 minutes, I want y'all to see this. Instead of me getting my son up, helping my husband brush his teeth and do the lunch and all those things, I may say, I'm going to be back in time to walk him to school with you. That's what I want. So I've shaved off 45 minutes. So now instead of me carving out an hour and 15 minutes, still trying to find time to go to the gym, either waking up earlier or going to the gym later, which I don't like to do, I've shaved off 45 minutes. Put a 1 in the comment box if you like. That is so simple if we just look at where our time is going. Okay. Now I'm going to keep going. So I'm going to do 8/15/2024. So I'm just going to do the 4 categories to make it simple for time. So let's just say if I am trying to find some inspiration for some of my reels, right? So reels, posts or something like something around social media. So let's just say if I did that, let's see, at 8:30 a.m. And then I looked at the clock and it's 9:30. I'm sending all these memes, you know what I'm saying? So I look up and it's an hour left. Now, what I realize is that in the midst of that, I'd have sat down and ate breakfast. I'm talking to my mama on the phone. She getting me distracted while I'm on my other phone scrolling. That's probably why I can't finish. Sound familiar? So so when I go to this drop down, I don't love doing marketing research for reels, right? I don't even like it. But I'm going to say I don't like it, but I'm good at it, which means that it's telling me that I probably need to hire a social media like marketer. Okay. So I'm going to choose to delegate it. I ain't trimming it. I don't even want to do it. Right. So y'all getting this? So then 8/15/2024, let's just say I go live, right? So live is 10, and you want to try to capture every single minute, but let's just say 10 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. 45 minutes. So when I look at going live, I love going live, right? When I look at 45 minutes, I'm going to ask myself, is this something I can automate to someone else or something? No. Is this something I can delegate to someone else? No, this is my gift. Is this something I need to eliminate? Heck no. Is this something I need to trim? No. So I'm going to leave it at like blank. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll over and I want you to see, well, you know what? Let me do something else. Hold on. Let me just make up some stuff. Laundry. Where did our time go? Let's just say 12 o'clock. I'm sitting here watching Netflix. Boom, it's 3 o'clock. I didn't take a nap. Nap is fine. Nap should probably be separate. So I don't like it, not good at it, don't want to fold no clothes. I need to delegate it out. Okay. 8:15, I grocery shop. Okay. Trying to give y'all some personal stuff too. 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, because you got to go to 3 different grocery stores right now to get a good deal. Right. So I actually don't like it, but I'm really good at picking out stuff really quickly. A deal. Right. But I need to make a decision. Do I need to delegate it or trim it? So I'm going to choose to delegate it. And you may be thinking, well, how can you delegate it? I'm going to delegate it to Instacart. I don't need to be out going grocery shopping. Okay. So what I want you to pay attention to is these columns over here. When you were typing in your things that you were doing, it was doing an auto calculation. So it's going to look at your week at the end of the week, and it's going to give you a diagnosis. Okay. So in terms of what you love doing, let's just say if this was my whole week, it would have showed me like, wow, out of a 40-hour work week, I only spent an hour and 15 minutes doing stuff I love. No wonder why I don't want to wake up in the morning sometimes and work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even doing what I love. That equates to 17% of my time. In terms of where I'm at regarding love, it's showing me that I need to put some stuff on automation. Okay. In terms of what I like doing and that I'm good at doing it, I didn't spend no time doing that. Okay. And then in DL is don't like and you're good at it. DLNG is don't like it, not good at it. So I want y'all to pay attention to this. I spent 82% of my time doing things that I don't like, even if I'm good at it or not good at it. Put a 2 in the comment box if you can see how this can wake you up to realize why you are also not making more money, because you're doing more things that are actually not allowing you to make money because you're boggled down in the day-to-day task. Okay. You're boggled down in the day-to-day task. And then it's also showing you in terms of the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule is most people think that they need to work 80% of the time and make 20% of the revenue. And the reality of it is, if you focus your time on things that you're really good at, your genius zone, and that you love 20% of the time, it will make up for 80% of your revenue. The equation is doing less with proficiency to earn more, not working every hour to do more. Because when you really look at your hourly situation, you're actually not doing much of anything to actually generate more revenue. You're actually doing more of things to actually generate more being tired. Okay. Does this make sense? All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 is you have great time management skills. 1 is, sis, I'm tired. I'm ready to throw in the towel. Tell me in the comment box if you're watching live, where do you fall on your efficiency for time management? Where do you fall on your efficiency for time management? Okay. Because when we think about proficiency, a lot of us are like, we're fine. Everything is good. And then all of a sudden, when it's time to look at your numbers, you realize that you're even too tired to add a stream of income. That was another thing that came up in our boot camp. So I said that I would address that. And I kind of did a little bit, but let's just talk about it. Sometimes we want to add, let's just say for private practice, they're in a private practice boot camp. And some people may look at, I want another stream of income, or they may go to my or someone else's platform and say, wow, she hyper focuses on therapists and healers and people who help other people in the helping profession. And she has private practice, and I have a private practice. I'm even making money in my private practice. Could I make more? Yes. But some people don't ask themselves, could I make the same with working less? Meaning maybe I need to look at my rates. Maybe I need to look at my systems. Oh, wait, I don't even have any. I don't have any operating systems in my business. And a lot of therapists operate thinking that their progress notes and the intake and closing out a chart in an EHR is the only system they need. And that is true to do therapy, not to run a business. Those are two different roles. Okay. So, in a nutshell, what I talk to our clients about is making sure that you build a ship that is profitable. So, let's just say this ship over here is your main stream of income. It could be a job, contractual job, or your own private practice, or a mixture of one, two, or three, right? And you want to add another stream of income because inflation is high. You live in states like me, California, and you like, I can't even get a break. You know what I'm saying? Even if they decrease inflation by 0.003%, it's not going to help this milk, right? So you may choose to say, oh, she got a digital product program. I want to launch an ebook. Let me go over here and make this investment. So here's the thing. If you don't build out systems over here to make sure that when you step off of this boat onto another stream of income where your energy will go, your knowledge focus will be over here in this core shell, in this coaching program or mentorship, whatever you get, or ebook, right? What's going to happen is you're going to, not even realizing it, neglect the time that you should be over here pouring into your business. Why? Because you ain't got no automated systems, right? And you're going to skip over here. And then you're going to realize as you're getting really excited over here that you're starting to feel drained because now you're jumping back and forth between two ships. And I'm not saying that that's not going to happen when you have streams of income, but when you don't learn how to build systems, when you don't know how to delegate, when you don't slow down to delegate, when you don't even know what to build beyond paperwork in a private practice, for example, this is why I see a lot of therapists actually failing at launching the digital product. Y'all don't fail at creating the digital product unless you really are maximized out on time. But what I find is that nobody on this earth is short of ideas. If I asked you to give me 5 ideas for any type of product right now, you could. If I didn't say you have to build it out, you could, right? But if I say, oh, well, how have you marketed your expertise for that product? You'll be like, I have it. What systems have you built to launch it? Have you went through the 4 launch phases? What is that? Right? What is your checkout system? I don't have one. Maybe I can put it in simple practice. No, you can't. So if you're wondering why you don't have enough time, it's primarily because you even don't know where your time is going. Okay. So I'm going to drop a link in the comment box. Okay. I'm also going to, well, I'll pin it to the comments like when we're done. Let me see if I can pin it here. Oh, wait, no, I can't. Okay. So this right here, it's on my Instagram profile. It's also at the top of my YouTube page. But if you click that link, I'm going to show you what you are going to see. Okay. And I'm going to show you your bonus. Let me pull it up. Okay. So let me share this. So what I'm going to do today is this is something that is only given to our students. I'm going to give you this plus something extra as a bonus. Tomorrow, you'll get an email from me for $11. Okay. So this is what it is. You get the abundant time audit. So the Excel sheet that you provided, you have this tutorial, right? If you have any issues with it, just DM me on Instagram. That's simple, right? Like, hey, how do I use this? You didn't say that in the video. Just DM me. But you're going to get access to the sheet. Now, what's really important is that when you get the sheet, you need to copy it to your drive. Do not try to type on the time audit. Okay, it will not work. I will know that you tried to type on it because it will say requesting access. You should not be requesting access. You should copy it. So what it's going to look like is when you get to it, you're going to go to File, make a copy. What I would do is keep it the same name, Time Audit, and then just put your name right here and then click Make a Copy. That's simple. Okay. So when you pay the $11, you're going to get the Time Audit. It's going to reference you back to this video, but you're also going to get a bonus from me in your inbox tomorrow. And it's going to say Time Audit bonus. If you buy it after Friday, more than likely we'll already include the bonus inside. Okay. What we are going to do as a bonus is I'm going to re-record because it's a longer video. I'm going to re-record from our coaching portal, right? For all of our clients. How do you create your ideal schedule, like things you want to consider when you are placing new clients, existing clients into your current business, and even moving further into your future business. This could be applied whether you do a coaching or a therapeutic business or anything that relates to where your time is going, whether it's one on one clients, groups. I'm going to break all of that down because this is how I've been able to master my time management. Okay. Put a one in the comment box if you would like the time audit. Okay. And also let me know do you have any questions right now? What questions do you have so I can answer them live? If someone is happening to watch this as a replay, I still go back to the comments and answer them. But again, I wanted to go over this topic because it's something that I notice has been coming up way more than I would have anticipated in terms of even for investments. I've had it where people will come to, our master classes, webinars, boot camps, and they will say, man, like, I really want to do this. And I'm like, well, what's the problem? I'm like, is it a good match, first of all? And they're like, yeah, this is exactly what I need, whatever it is. And I'm like, okay, well, what's the problem? And they like, I can't find time to like come to the coaching calls if it has coaching calls. And I'm like, well, you can pre-submit your question for a private podcast feed, right? Or something like that. And they were like, no, I want to be able to get my personalized question answered. I'm like, you can. And they're like, well, then I'm not going to be able to watch the videos. And I'm like, the videos are 5 minutes. I broke them down so small where you can do them throughout a day or a week. And so really what I find is that some entrepreneurs, because I now challenge their objection to like, I don't have time. I'm like, no, you have time. We can get things off your plate if you let me help you. Let me coach you. You know what I'm saying? Like if all I'm gonna do is coach you on time for the first month of the program, that's cool, right? Because it's still gonna get your time back, and time is equivalent to money. Okay, that you can go and do what you want to do. And what I find is that some people, when it boils down to it, they don't want help getting out of the situation that they're in. So what that also tells me psychologically and subconsciously, meaning out of your awareness, you actually like to operate in stress. I want y'all to hear that. So let me go over here. So no questions, but I love the idea of rating the experience of doing the task. This is the new category on a time audit. Yeah, I've never been exposed to, because it's really like a diagnosis, like a slap in the face, like, oh my God, like I'm really spending all of this time. And let me tell y'all, this is a live document. So let's just say 2 weeks from now, I'm like, you know what? I want to add this. I want to add this because y'all gonna see another like a workbook appear on the newer version starting tomorrow as a bonus, right? So if I do that, then you will automatically get any updates. So that's one of the reasons why I use Google a lot, is because it's a live living document. And all I will do, because we will have a tag next to your name saying that you got access to the time audit, is that we will simply email you. Just don't unsubscribe from our stuff, especially if you bought something. And we will email you and say, hey, we've made some audits as a bonus, no additional costs. Click here to download the new time audit sheet. All right. Okay, y'all. So that is all that I have for you today. I hope that this has been helpful. So let me just recap. We talked about the difference between like burnout, like built up over time. And then we also talked about micro cycles of burnout, which you really need to be aware of. And when you have that, take into consideration, maybe you need to do a time audit. Maybe you want to start looking at household duties to delegate, right? And maybe I'll do a podcast on that. Like, what are some things that maybe you can delegate even in your house that you are overlooking, right? You want to communicate to other people in your home that you need help with time management. Prime example, I'm going to go back all the way to 2020. Nobody was used to working from home full time. And at that time, I love giving my son a bath, but I also have to realize that sometimes mommy is tired, right? So what I had asked my husband, even though he didn't say that he wouldn't give our son a bath, I just always preferred it because I was always busy in the morning. And so, and my husband is a late out. So what I did is I said, hey, outside of extenuating circumstances like changes in schedule, the kids are out of school, minimum days, maybe I'm in a launch period, so like I'm drained, right, at the end of the day for whatever reason. Can we flip-flop days if at all possible? And then we just communicate if we need to swap, related to laundry, related to household chores, related to giving our son a bath. And he was like, yeah. And the crazy part is, it's not like he was against it, but sometimes we forget that we have to communicate to our partner, right? So let's see. I've heard of time blocking when, I talk about time blocking when handling a client load, second income stream. Would you see the clients at the beginning of the week, Monday and Wednesday, or at the end of the week? So That really, really, this is an awesome question, depends on what else you have going on, right? So I'll give you a brief example. I had a 9 to 5 job working at that time, the juvenile hall. It was up the street from my house. And then I ended up working for aftercare too, like in the community. That's a whole nother schedule. So let's just say juvenile hall. Juvenile hall, I was working what's called a 980. So every other week, I was working 4 days a week, and every other week I was working 5 days a week. And so I was running a private practice and teaching various streams. So I first chose my client caseload on a day that I had completely off when I first started building my private practice, only because I didn't know what I was doing. Like 12 years ago, there was no like coaching for therapists, right? So you just have to figure it out. So over time, as I start seeing really teenagers, and then I start seeing some of the parents and adults, I start realizing my flow of like diagnoses preference. Like some of these people can't be back to back. I also start realizing what time my body started getting tired, even on days that I did not work, because maybe I was tired from my work days flowing over into the next day. So you really got to pay attention to your body. So what I end up doing is after certain clients would either request for their time to be moved, maybe school schedules change, which is great, right? I would intentionally, when I got new clients, not just look at what spots I had open, because I use that for time clustering, like blocking. I would also look at when is my body tired and what type of client do I need to put in that spot if I don't want to end my day. So I would usually end my day with either a couple or teenagers that were more disruptive on paper because they're comical, they keep me up, or whatever they're going through is just not, they don't talk. They're quiet. They're sad. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with going to therapy for that. Clearly, we're therapists, but therapists need to make sure that we show up and show out for our clients, right? So I had no designated days. It really depended on what was going on around me. Now, what I will say is Dr. TK today shows up in my schedule as I put my family first, my business second. So for coaching, our clients can tell you my schedule outside of our group coaching programs that run limitless, like, not limitlessly, but throughout the year, we tend to keep our calls on a particular day of the week. It's just that the week may change based on what time of year it is. But I now look at my kids' schedule and I build my business around my life. I used to, and in my hustler mode, I used to build my life around my business, meaning I would schedule my clients and then I would see when I have room for myself. Put a one in the comment box if don't lie, you doing it. Like you focused on, I get it, paying your bills, depending on what kind of financial state you're in. Maybe you're in a state where you're saving up for a home or a new investment or something, right? Or kids go to school or something like that. And you may have to work extra. You may have to have more money, right? I get it. Like people are single parents, people don't have help, etc. Right? But at the end of the day, I want you to ask yourself, is this going to be a marathon or is this going to be a sprint? Whatever schedule you choose needs to at least ideally last for 6 months if you're doing therapy, right? I did not set up my private practice schedule for it to expire every 30 days because that would be irresponsible of me to go to clients and say, can you change the schedule? Like, I don't feel good. I'm tired. Like a client's mental health don't give a damn about like us choosing not to put our mental health first, right? So, in terms of like time blocking, I would say look at your next 6 months, look at it from it's August to the end of the year, and ask yourself, what kind of schedule would I like to have? And that's what's going to be as a bonus that I'm actually going to re record in a shorter version, like less than 10 minutes, if that. And I'm going to show you how to identify where your schedule is now. This is separate from time auditing and time blocking. And then I'm going to show you how to use all of these questions that I'm kind of like giving you a sneak peek to right now, and how you can craft out, especially your schedule for 2025, and also how you can craft out your schedule, maybe even for the next 2 to 3 years. Granted, it's going to change because you're going to evolve. All right. So, does anyone have any other questions? Any other questions? And just y'all be okay with flexibility, be okay with adapting. It's the entrepreneurs who don't want to adapt to real life circumstances that end up being left behind because whatever you were doing last year, you feel like you can't make the adjustment. You're going to get anxious. You're going to get overwhelmed. That is not the life of true entrepreneurship. True entrepreneurship looks like a cyclone. Like up, down. And that can represent your mood, your clients, your money, your streams of income. But at the end of the day, if you want to be very successful, you want to allow people to help you, which I'm doing right now, but you also want to be open to change, pivoting. All right. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this. Again, if you want to take advantage of the um, time audit, it's $11. If you follow me on Instagram, it's the link in the bio. Again, if you come over to the store, then all you have to do is put in your name, email, buy it, etc. And then you'll be able to check out. And then make sure you'll get a download, but also make sure you check your email. In your email, along with a PDF download, you'll have the link to the Google Sheet and this video as a replay so that you can keep. And then, as I mentioned, I'm going to give you all a bonus by tomorrow. So comment on the bottom of the video if you have any further questions. And I will talk to y'all soon. Thank you so much for tuning in for this pop-up time audit. Bye.